Let's see how this done go. Okay. Whenever you are ready there, sir.
Are we recording?
Let's rock this off.
All right. Welcome to Tactical Pause. I'm Bert, here with my brother Jay.
And that's episode 65. Yeah.
65.
We're back.
We're still counting.
We're back, baby.
How long is that hiatus?
9 months? I assume. I believe. I looked at it. It's pretty long. So.
Yeah, but we're back to talk about the Shanghai major. There was a lot to talk about, so... Yeah. I mean, even our podcast rolled around in its grave to... Like...
Even we had to say something.
Our quality's shit, but even we're here to talk up shit on Shanghai, man. Like...
Well, you know what? It wasn't all bad. It was still some good behind it.
Terrible. The games were good.
Games were amazing. I was very proud of some of the games that we saw. This patch has been very, very fun.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of drama. A lot of drama. So
a shit ton of drama.
Let's start with the firing of James. So we had the privilege of meeting James back at the International 5, TI5, right? Great guy. Mm-hmm. I love talking with him.
Yeah,
I thought
James was pretty chill, actually.
I would not consider him an ass in the slightest. Well, he could be, but yeah.
I'd imagine the only instance with James being an ass is if he's in a group of people he knows very well, and he's just speaking his mind, and he says like, "Well, fuck it." Like when we met him, and he was just talking to somebody he knows is just a fan of Dota, he seemed like a chill guy to me. I don't know.
Exactly.
I actually had a good time having a smoke with him. Fuck it. Like, so he was pretty nice.
So I think that I understand the reasoning of the firing, if correct, under the fact that he was a bit vulgar for the region he was in and the people that were producing and what had to have been said. He was told to be himself, and when that's not communicated across, and knowing that James is gonna be James, then that's a problem with communication in Valve, and that needs to be resolved with them. But to know what he was saying, and without going to him first and saying, "Hey, dial it back," and maybe they did. Maybe in his diatribe about what occurred, and I read part of it. I just don't remember the specifics. But if he said something like, "Hey, they came to me and said tone it down," and I did, and whatever, but he crossed that line again, then it's justified, right? But if he wasn't told that, hey, you've got to be cautious, can't say these things, you're in this region, don't do it, then, unless that wasn't communicated to him. But I believe it was. So I'm okay with the firing as it was. I'm not okay with how it was handled. I don't think Gabe coming out and saying what he said was proper. But that's been done. It's already done. The majors are done. We're over it.
I think it's really interesting when you have a place like Valve that is always so careful to not say anything ever, like very, very careful to always only think about the response. And then, I mean, that shows what the power of Twitter is like. Dave can just get on there and say something that builds up like this.
Well, not even Twitter, Reddit. That's where he posted it to, Reddit.
Did it? Is that where it was?
He posted that to Reddit. Wow. You're behind the times there, buddy. Yeah, he posted it to Reddit. Reddit handled the comments and the replies back. And everybody, James is an ass, became a meme. It is what it is. So, it's kind of shitty for him. I don't think that's proper, but hey, it's already happened. Hey, James is out.
I look at it as no publicity is bad publicity. You never know. This might get him a little bit more...
Absolutely.
More visuals.
Absolutely.
And I hope it works out for James because he seemed like he wanted to do a lot in the gaming field, and he seemed passionate about it, and I'd be glad to see what comes out of that.
So James to GD Harding, unfortunately, first elimination from Shanghai Major.
Yeah, he was the first eliminated.
So it happens. It sucks. But the show had to go on. And it did, and I think that, they kept doing what they were going to do.
Well, the rest of the panel did a good job.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Cuddle Guy did good.
Cuddle Guy did well.
I liked the panel that they had there more than some of the people they bring in on the International that are like...
I can handle Red Eye. I like Red Eye, but he's been doing CSGO.
Really?
Yeah, he's been doing some
Huh.
CS:GO. The other older gentleman, I'm not terribly fond of, but that's just
I
personal
like
preference.
Casey. Casey's
Casey's
nice.
great, but Casey's also a Seattle native. She works for the local news
Well,
affiliate.
plus she just interviews people.
And
She's not really on an analyzing panel. When you have people who I've never seen play Dota come onto an analyze panel, it's like, whoa, what? Whoa,
absolutely.
Dad. Dad, I know you like to watch Dota, Dad, but I don't need your input, Dad. No. It's kind
So
of how it felt that international.
it was it was a good setup.
I
And
like what James and them like bring to the table though when it comes to analyzing. I mean, he knows how to keep the crowd entertained. That's what he was trying to do.
well,
I
James
understand how to
also
like it.
does well with having to stretch time. He has these
Yeah,
concepts and ideas. He comes up with skits and games and things to do to keep the camera rolling when necessary. It's been. I think that's really what they were looking for when they hired him, but they didn't know that. And then once they came into production and said, okay, well, we're going to cut and take breaks in between. This wasn't like the international where they had constant content being produced by Action Slacks or Pyrian Flax or other community contributors to play in between segments and analysis in games. Perfect World, if they did, it was more on the Chinese side because this was a Chinese event.
yeah, and it was weird though. Just like in afterwards, it became that it's just, hey, we're gonna cut. Oh, okay, so we're cutting to what? Nothing. Just cut.
And that may have been the
Okay.
idea before. But James
Yeah, no,
thought, hey, I've got dead time. We're in delays. All right, I'll just keep, let's go on. So let's play this
Yeah,
game.
let's just talk. I mean, they have a whole game to take a bathroom break later. Like, why not?
So I think that really kind of missed. And I would have liked to see the panel just kind of stretch it out and do some other things. But they just want to now analyze the game, analyze the draft, see what's coming up, speculate. And that's pretty much it. That's what they're leaving those panels to be. And that's okay. If that's the format, all right, cool. The games themselves were amazing, though. Holy crap.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
seeing some holdout games. Racks were down.
No,
Teams
there
were
was
still
like
going at it.
it was like OG versus Secret, and I'm sitting there watching this, and I'm like, oh my god, you could make a straight top plays compilation out of this one game right here. Like, holy fuck. There was so many amazing blinks right at the right moment, so many amazing hits on the BKB, reaction times, like, oh god, it's been fun.
So it was very enjoyable in that regard.
Actor drone.
And I like the quality of the games and the team fights and the matches that were going on there were really enjoyable to watch. Really enjoyable to watch.
And did you kind of get that sense of we started seeing fewer and fewer different heroes being picked? I mean, we kind of stayed in a very centered pool.
There was a very, very centered pool going on. There was a lot of only OD or only or Invoker was coming out quite often.
Poker came out a shit ton if he wasn't banned.
My predictions were blown to shit. I was still going off stuff that happened in like TI5. I was like, oh yeah, Lena's gonna get picked up. Perfect. All the
Poker
time.
ended up getting most picked with 37 picks.
Lion got a lot of picks, I'm sure.
He got 29. Well, Nature's Prophet came in second with 35. Venge in third. Venge, just a fun support slash damage dealing carry. There were some great swaps with Venge this tournament.
So there were a lot of really good games. I love seeing EG pull out the Dark Seers Fen combo pretty often.
Yes.
And they were trying to pull that off where they bring him in and wall him and vacuum, and then Sven just goes to town on Cleave. That was a lot of fun.
I thought they were going to get way more out of that Black Hole Sven combo. I mean, when you can hold him down so long, Sven just needs to right click him 4 or 5 times. But, that was rough.
That was
Still, Secret. Spoilers if you haven't watched this.
spoilers. Yeah, spoilers
But-
at this point. The tournament's over. We're gonna go ahead and go into winners. Secret wins. All right.
Secret takes it.
Secret
3-1.
takes it. This is the strongest we've seen them. This was the secret we wanted to see at TI5. We wanted to see this with no tail. We wanted to see
I'm
this.
glad we
with-
got to see EG take it though. Watching
Absolutely.
EG take it was fantastic, especially since we got to meet them later.
Absolutely, and it was very very fun, and I'm glad to see that there were a lot of extra combos to come out. We were seeing Puppy play a wide array of heroes. He played a Night Stalker. He played a Doom. He even
the Doom was awesome too. He owned.
And when he finally got his signature Enchantress, he played Enchantress. He didn't. I don't think he got a chance to play Chen this round. I don't remember.
No, Chen was one of the most banned, right behind Earth Spirit. Earth Spirit was banned 61 times. Chen was banned 43 times.
Wow.
Just right behind it. Like, that was insane how many times Earth Spirit was banned, and we saw why. Because if you get a good Magnetize off with a Ravage, oh man, that's how EG turned a lot of fights around.
And even Weehaw on the Earth Spirit was going to town. He got it 2 games in a row. Game 1 was simply a warm up.
There was one, I can't remember who was playing Earth Spirit, but like he was about to get destroyed by Sven, and he straight turned him into a stone and kicked him away. I was like, no, fuck off. And like got out of there. It was amazing. He deserved the ban.
Earth Spirit plays were fun to watch. If you watch like an Earth Spirit Invoker, Meepo, if you got like a huge high skill cap hero game and like all 5 heroes are high skill cap, that'd be amazingly fun to watch. And a lot of these were. Doom, what do you choose in picking which creep to devour at the time? What buff do you need the most? The stun? Do you need the crit? Go on. So lots of high caliber games, and I was just exciting. And to see Croaky, bring up Liquid as far as he did, I'm surprised he toppled EG. EG should have taken them in the semifinals, or everybody expected them to.
I was very surprised to see EG not make it to the end, but they fought their way all the way toward the end.
Absolutely.
But Liquid really wanted to get that extra game in against Secret.
They had to. They wanted to. It went to Game 4. The best we could have asked for is if they won one more and we went to Game 5.
Yeah, but I mean, at least they didn't get swept like EG did.
No.
Yeah. So it was. And I think everybody played very great Dota.
And they still had to play EG earlier that day, so they played more games than anybody.
Yeah, and then you get that chance for Secret to kind of see what you're playing that day, how you're feeling, and when they started picking defensively with the Dazzle, I mean, yeah, you got the Chrono, but I feel like Void, while has been picked a lot this round, just did not deliver as much as people thought he was going to.
No. He got some good Chronos. There were a few, like 3, 4. I don't know if I've seen a 5-man Chrono. There might have been one that came out. But good few Chronos. There were only... I don't think he was utilized as much as he should have been. Or could have been. I would have liked to see that a bit more.
Because half the time they would ban whatever synergized well.
Right, or whatever synergized well would get picked off pretty quickly within the fight by who didn't get Chrono. Like there was some fights in which a Witch Doctor and Void were up. However, by the time Void got his Chrono off, he got 3, and then a 4th person came around from behind and killed Witch Doctor, so it didn't work out for him. But you give and take, and
yeah.
It's still good. We've seen tons of really good Invoker games. Invoker was just a top pick, and I loved to watch a high skilled Invoker. Tusk was really popular again as well.
I was trying to see if recently, I think Chronosphere was made a little bit smaller, but no, I can't find anything on that.
Yeah. So production, even though it was pretty spotty, there were some good things like I was shocked that they canceled the opening ceremonies. I won't say that's a good thing, but the opening ceremonies canceled because of they didn't want people didn't want to show up, and then it made them voluntary, and then they said, never mind, we're not doing it at all. And there's a dog.
Yeah. I don't
know
who it's
but there was like the concert. The concert was really good. I don't know if you saw that. And they had the
I saw the repercussion band. They were playing like the Dota music, which was figuring.
Repercussion band.
I don't know what I just said.
The
It was a leaf.
It was a leaf?
It was from the palm tree.
A palm tree leaf just landed and hit the door?
Yeah.
Our house is haunted. Sorry, I guess that's. Oh, it is kind of getting windy here today, though, I'll say. So I'm trying to take away from what I just said.
The concert.
The concert was fantastic.
The concert.
The band played very well.
So I really liked the orchestra.
Orchestra.
I liked the special guests coming out. I couldn't name them. I apologize, but they were fantastic. And then the closing ceremonies, I fell asleep for. I woke up like right as Secret were walking out of the booth and shaking hands with Liquid, and then I passed out. I passed right out.
Did you see what they had planned to have afterwards? Because
No.
Because I remember our closing ceremony was pretty interesting with Deadmau5.
Right. I don't think they had that same kind of thing going on there. I did see that they had their trophy and they lifted their trophy up together. But I think that may have been about the end of it. They may have done like just another retrospective within the stadium itself for the crowd. But I don't suspect they had any glorious or grand show going on.
That's smart, though. I mean, it didn't really work out for casting last time.
It was weird that during the concert this time, we didn't have the crazy zoom in, zoom out dude. So I appreciate that. He was something. We did have a few pauses and crashes like we always do every big tournament. You know, they happen.
But not as bad as it used to be. I mean, I feel like the DDoS problem's pretty handled at this point.
I agree. I felt like they happened more towards the end. So it was like the hardware was like, okay, it worked great for the first few days, and then, oh, I'm going to crap out on you.
Yeah.
Like something just in the wear and tear of it didn't work out. We saw a few crashes in the semifinals and the grand finals from both sides.
But, you know, I mean, it wasn't... at least we didn't see 6-hour pauses, 2-hour pauses. But we did see very, very long delays of game to start the fucking games.
Absolutely.
That's where we really saw this shit.
And in the group stages, it happened a lot. But I think in the later days when we didn't have as many planned in the day, it got better.
Yeah.
It felt like the flow was better. That we didn't feel as rushed. And I mean, even on the first day, we ended up having to end the day before all the games are played out, and I think they had to go back and play them at either the hotel or they let them play them at the venue, but no spectators there. Like it was very interesting.
It was there was just a lot of little fumbles here and there. It's just kind of surprising.
As an event as a whole, how would you have rated it? From a spectator's perspective, outside of even the country, just through Twitch or through YouTube, how would you have rated it?
From what I'm seeing, okay, because compared to us going to the international when we got to, in a thing where they've kind of done it multiple times, because our experience at the international, I'd give like an 8 or a 9 out of 10, like straight up. Like there's a few little things they could improve upon. But with this one, I'd say maybe a 5 or a 6, because while the games are good, like people paid a lot of money to go out there and do this shit, and they have to go home early because of like the local shit, the like delays of games are causing people to miss games that they paid money to see. And I don't know, that kind of stuff happening just it's shitty. I mean, it happens when you're starting something brand new like the majors. I mean, this is the first year we're doing this in these several countries. So there's going to be hiccups, and this is really one of the first big hiccups we've had. But it depends on how Valve reacts to it all. If Valve can turn it around and be like, hey, we saw what went wrong, we know how to address it now, we're going to plan a lot further ahead, maybe take some of that millions of dollars that we're putting into the prize pool and actually put into production value. But this one overall, I'd say I'd only give like a 6 out of 10 at the most.
All right.
I'm being friendly.
You're being nice.
I'm being very nice.
Because
the games kept me entertained. I would have been fucked up if I was there.
I'd give it about a 6 out of 10. I agree, because even with them not being able to do as much in terms of entertainment on the English side, I think Hollow Guy still tried. I still think the analysts attempted. Everybody gave their best to this. It wasn't their faults that this stumbled so hard. There's other factors involved.
No, the people in front of the camera did a fine job, and they did the best they could.
So I feel, and the games are spectacular. The games alone, I think, warrant at least 5 of those 6 points. Okay, the other one is an effort made by everybody else, and I appreciate it. They are losing points because Sheever keeps pushing for stupidly bad jokes sometimes.
Yeah.
I get it; it's her shtick, and people appreciate that. And sometimes I could appreciate that, but
We really need to see another girl step up and challenge Shiva for hottest girl in
Well,
Dota right
no,
now,
because
that's like the only base we have.
she could do better. I feel. I mean, she's great. She's absolutely great. She's great where she's at. She's made it further than we ever will.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
There's a lot of times in
she
which
knows
she can
what she's
still
talking
improve.
about.
She still needs to. She still has room for improvement. I think she doesn't need to force a lot of those jokes that she has.
Yeah, I think sometimes she just focus on
Just
the
let it
game.
go.
Yeah. That's what she good. She knows the game, so that's like she should kind of
She has great
speak
game
to what she knows
knowledge.
about.
Absolutely. So
that's very. But
other than that,
I'd expect to see a lot more come out of this next major, and I think Valve is going to probably really step it up. I mean, we've seen now that and this is what I also think is what made them so hypercritical about the production value to begin with, and why they made these decisions. Is this is the first time we're really seeing this in the game client. Like, you're not watching. You can watch it on Twitch, but you can watch it on your actual Dota client, and that's them taking a lot more ownership of the production. And it kind of fell off because they did it. But I'm hoping that now that they've tried it, they've seen what went wrong, the next major we'll see a lot of big improvements.
I think so too. I think we're going to see a lot of big improvements. We are going to Manila is the next major.
Yes,
it's
the spring major.
We will. That's going to be really, really interesting to see. So now that this major is over, we've gotten a chance to see how this patch played out. We can suspect a new patch to come right around the corner. Probably right along with these, either right along with or just after the spring cleaning patch.
Where do you think they're going to nerf? Because I think they're going to hit the jungling game hard this patch. I don't know actually, because they really buffed the jungling game last patch, and we saw it in this tournament, like straight up, man. When you start seeing every jungler getting banned, Chen banned, fucking Enchantress banned, Lycan banned. Doom was like the only one that they were able to get through near the end. Like, it's incredible that this was the jungle patch.
Maybe Invoker gets cut back a hair.
Yeah, because now that they changed how his stats work, maybe they do need to do something to bring him back a bit.
I was very curious. I don't remember seeing too many Ag Scepter Invokers, so we never saw like a full AoE Deafening Blast occur. We saw the just a lot of really good combos come out, and maybe an Aether Lens to get the spells a little bit further away. But other than that, it was, I think Invoker we might see some changes too. Earth Spirit maybe a few, because he was constantly banned or picked. He was always up for contention.
We'll definitely see an Earth Spirit nerf because I don't think they intended him to be so dominating.
Of course he did. He was in the game pre-CM for the longest fucking time.
Yeah.
Then finally takes some change, and now he gets thrown into CM. Okay, now he's just stupid OP in CM, so he's going to have to go through further change. But this was where he wanted to be. And
I think we're actually going to see a bit of a... I think if they're going to actually change the abilities of anybody, it might be Earth Spirit.
You think he'd get like a rework?
I believe we're going to see a rework on possibly Earth Spirit.
So, okay.
Because his ability, like his CC is amazing and it's really cool, but it's almost a tad bit too controlling on the game. And I think that's what we saw in this tournament. Like, being able to take people, even though, and they've nerfed him too. Like, they did nerf the fact that you couldn't interact with your enemy being stoned. Giggity. Well, not. I don't know about that. But like, I don't know. He just has so much CC, but I'll grant it's very, very hard to do, and you have to be very good to do it. But that's the people we're playing with in the meta.
Right. That's when we see those in the pro games. But I think that's what we want to see in the pro games. We want to see people pull off a full stun and silence coming back off of the Nerf Spirit pool. On
not even Remnant. That, man.
And
just
then
like
with Magnet
saves.
Right, or with the incredible saves on pulling an ally out. I think that being able to do that and see that would be great in future games. Do we either buff more heroes up to have a higher skill cap to match that and see them come out in the bans and picks to overshadow him and then get him into those games? Or do we see him scaled back so that he's no longer a ban threat, but maybe a round 2 pick right? Maybe something that he's thought about later. That's all right. He's still got some carry potential. Still has damage coming out from his magnetism.
I think if you could anything, maybe. Well, that's the funny thing is magnetism is one of the spells where it's like sometimes you pop it off and it's like, oh, that didn't do shit, and other times you pop it off and it's like, oh my god, that just destroyed the entire enemy team. And it feels like there's a little difference in like what causes that. I mean, that's what makes the difference.
You know, the difference in causing that is called reading the tooltip and finding out what that does.
No, it's all you got to do is keep. Well, I mean, it depends on one, the enemy positioning, two, also dropping down your earth spirits to continue the timing of magnetism. Like I know how magnetism works, but it's just sometimes I feel like, and again, it also depends on the heroes you're playing against. That's just Dota, but even if games where he was doing well and he like there'd be bad magnetism ults, it's just like I feel like if you're gonna balance him, that's not the ult to go after. There's something else you got to do with him, and that's why he needs a rework.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah, I'm glad I actually was able to bring that full circle. pretty drunk already. That started too early today.
Could we see more Ags incentives for some of the heroes that we didn't see Ags go on so far?
I really hope so. I love that they've been adding more Ag Scepter to like just random heroes. I mean, we even got to see an Ags on Drow this patch.
We got to see an Ags on Ursa.
Yeah.
We saw an Ags on, I think, granted, I believe it was an Envy Ursa, so it didn't work out as well. But I believe we did see an Ags on Ursa before, or at least once. So, if we had any additional Ags incentives, what would you like to see, or any ideas as to an Ags incentive? Maybe something additional to Invoker other than just the Deafening Blast, considering that was like a next to nil pickup, but Deafening Blast was used all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, we never really saw the max Deafening Blast used very, very often. I mean, there's a couple of games where it went long enough, but a lot of the long games Invoker didn't get through. And then
they were shorter, that's true.
I see. The thing is it's hard. I was actually thinking of some type of sniper scepter rework where either if you get a scepter, you can actually use your shrapnel on towers again, or your sniper ult becomes like power shot. It adds some damage, but it becomes like power shot.
Or it harms anybody it crosses while it's on its way. Because unlike Power Shot, it still follows. It's like a magic bullet. It's like the fucking, bullet out of that Angelina Jolie movie where she bends time, or that dude bends time.
It would just be, I think Sniper we could have a little fun with, make him a little more relevant. And I always loved the idea of Scepter for Void gives him double chrono.
So put down boobs.
Just put titties all over the field.
Put titties on the field.
Some blue titties. But yeah, no, I really hope we see more Scepter upgrades, because that's what's I think we can. That's where they can take a hero that's already balanced and bring him to a different level, and make him more relevant in the meta, even after he's maybe fallen off from his normal shit.
Okay. Do you think we might get our final ported hero in this patch? Pit Lord.
God, I hope so. Pit Lord. I mean, he's in the game. He's there. It's just Valve going, hey, you want it? Yeah, fuck you. No, not yet. Like, come on. He's there. We'll see.
Do you suspect that we'll get him next patch, or may they go through the spring cleaning patch, try to iron out what bugs are left, and then reintroduce new bugs and interactions with how him and his global teleport work, which I don't suspect would be a big problem. I could see things with, like, maybe if Arc Warden wanted to bring his duplicates, should the duplicates come across, but that could be up for debate and how it worked before. Or he'd have to hit his duplicates after, just much like with the Mantra Style. If you hit it, your mana still would leave you there.
I think, if anything, we'll probably get Pit Lord, if not in this next patch, the one after, because we've already heard from Valve that they're interested in starting new heroes. They probably even have a few in the works as we don't even know of yet. And once they get Pit Lord done, we'll be able to kind of, like you said, we'll get the spring cleaning patch. I mean, we won't know if it'll be necessarily the same thing as the one we got before, but I hope so because it definitely could use it now that we've moved over to Source 2 and we've been on it for a while. But I just want to get Pit Lord done with. Let's get the full game. Let's get everybody in captain's mode. Let's get this game done being ported, and then let's start adding to it because they seemed pretty ready to do that.
I think we're pretty ready for the game to be done too.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, who do we see? Who else can get buffs? Who did we not see that we wanted to see even get banned or picked? I can't really think off the top. Visage wasn't really used or utilized at all.
Yeah, I mean,
and especially with Drow. Well, that's true. But the Drow Visage abuse was huge for the longest time, right? And we continue to see Drow.
Pudge. We did not see much Pudge.
No, Pudge is kind of
considering the scepter that they added to Pudge, and the fact that Pudge now can get. I mean, maybe it's because Dendi didn't get that far into the tournament. That's why we didn't see enough Pudge.
Could be.
I'd also be interested to see something happen with Meepo, so we can maybe see Meepo actually relevant in the meta, not just a fun fuck it up pickup.
Yeah, exactly. Or to bring the techies back.
Oh,
I would have. We saw Techie's last patch just huge.
Oh,
and
man,
Techie's has taken such the biggest
hit. What the
hit.
fuck would you do to Techie's to make him relevant in the meta?
I don't know. Return him to how he was.
Because now that you could destroy his minds without murdering yourself accidentally, I mean, it's
make gold off of him.
Yeah.
Right? The bounty.
The first thing you'd have to do is reduce that bounty to make people not afraid to feed it. But we'll see. I would be very interested to see somehow Techie's made relevant again. I know you'd love that.
I would love that. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and go play a Techie's game right about now.
All right.
You want to play
join
Techie's
There's 4 of them. You should join them.
Let's join theirs and let's go ruin their game with Techies.
You can go ahead and join the room game with Techies. I'll watch. That's going to be fucked up. All right. No, but yeah.
Other than that, I think I don't know what else we'd expect out of the patch. I mean, we got spring cleaning, maybe a hero port, the balance is out, some nerfs, some buffs. We'll play a game of buff or nerf when that comes out. It should be fun because Cody hasn't been playing for a while, so he'll be a prime candidate for that.
This is true.
Creed hasn't played since the International, so he'll be a prime candidate for that.
Yeah, he's actually missed all the majors, so.
And, that's all I have for us today. Bert,
hopefully we're back again soon. No, that's all I got. We'll wrap this up, but I hope this patch comes soon so we have more to talk about.
I agree. So we'll probably get our patch. I'm gonna give it probably about a week or 2, maybe 3, because they're gonna come back and analyze what occurred here, and then go and make their final changes. I'm sure Ice Frog has some of those already in mind and what he's already seen.
But it's always Valve time.
But it's Valve time. So don't expect it soon, but we could get a patch shortly. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, everybody. And Bert, appreciate your time. And that's it. Episode 65. We'll be back.
Peace. See